What is going on, everybody? Brent's Bricks back here with another video, a review video, and might I say it does feel great to be back doing a review. And today we are building Lego set 10281, the bonsai tree from the Botanical Collection. I did already review the flower bouquet, so if you want to see a review on this set, the link for that will be down in the description below. Before deciding on reviewing the bonsai tree, it was a really hard choice between this and the other two 2021 Star Wars sets that I have not reviewed yet, especially since there's that new Luke Skywalker in this one, but we'll get to these. Let's go ahead and knock out this bonsai tree. Let's get straight into the time lapse. So first we're going to talk about the instruction booklet. I typically haven't really been talking about instruction booklets lately, typically because there's nothing that special to talk about unless it's some kind of UCS set. But right off the bat, the front cover looks super nice, super clean. It doesn't even say bonsai tree or anything. It's just got the Lego logo, the set, and then of course the QR code to scan when you get on Lego Life so you can pull it up on your tablet or whatever. Some disclaimer stuff, and that is it. Super, super simple. The first page is going to have some information about some bonsai trees and then some information about the designer. Then, of course, it's going to explain what two types of trees you are building. Then, of course, talks about how the leaf pieces are actually made from plants. And then from there, it's a basic instruction manual. However, I did think it was interesting that step 3 is just this. That is it. 200 1x1 circular tile pieces, and you just mix them up in a bag and then you dump them in there. I thought that was pretty interesting that literally an entire step was just on 2 pages. The very next page, you're right on to step 4. Also forgot to show you that in the back of the instruction manual, they have some custom trees, I believe from the designer, and just different variations and different ways that you can use foliage and just different parts to make custom trees. Yeah, if you look just behind him, you can see that alien tree that is right there. So I just think it's really cool, this little back section showing the custom trees. I mean, even that minifigure tree, just super creative. Definitely inspires you to strip this set down and try to customize it and make it your own. Another good thing about this set. Enough about the instruction booklet. Let's go ahead and check out the actual set itself. When you do first build the set, it has you do the green leaves first, and then you finish up with the cherry blossoms. So right now I just have it in the cherry blossom form. I honestly like the cherry blossoms. Maybe it's just because they are made out of small pink frogs. I really love that parts usage there. From far away, you would have no idea that Lego used pink frogs to create the cherry blossoms on this tree. You also do have a few flower pieces scattered throughout, but it is mostly the pink frogs. And then, of course, under the frogs and the flowers is just some white foliage pieces. And before we talk about the rest of the set, let's go ahead and put on the green branches. And just like that, we have the green branches on the tree. You will not find any green frogs in this variation of the tree. However, you do have a wonderful combination of the light green foliage pieces with the regular green flower studs and the leaves. I do think the green looks pretty good, but for whatever reason, I just find myself liking the cherry blossoms more. I just think because these are a little more thicker, there's a lot more parts going on here, and these are just a little bit more thin. There's just not as much going on with these. Taking a closer look at the tree trunk, you do have some wonderful snot techniques going on in here. I would take some of those panels apart to show you kind of how they achieve that. However, all of these 1x1s are just kind of dumped in there, so I don't want to struggle to get that back on. One feature I really like about the tree itself is these two brown wires they wrap from the top of the tree trunk all the way around to the bottom. It just gives a really, really nice look to it. Removing the actual bonsai tree away, you can just display it without the stand altogether, and it does work out fairly nice. I don't want to turn this over because if I do, I will dump all of these studs out, but on the bottom you can see that they have these tire pieces that make it really nice so you don't have it sliding around everywhere, and especially when you have it on the stand, when you pick it up to move it around, it's not just going to slide off, it's going to stay on there, because if this set fell over, you would have 200 tiny little studs to pick up. That being said, the stand itself is a really, really nice design. A completely studless design, I might add, which makes it look super, super clean. That's one word I would use to describe this set. It's very, very clean. The actual structure that the tree is planted in has a very, very clean, studless look as well. And like I said, the bonsai tree in its standard form, I think, does look pretty good. But, however, I find myself wanting to display this tree more with the cherry blossoms rather than the regular green leaves. I'm not sure if it's just because there's more parts on the cherry blossoms, so they look a little bit more detailed to me, or the fact that the pink just really pops on top of the brown tree. Let me know down in the comments which one do you think is better, the cherry blossoms or just the regular green. And before we talk about the final opinion, I do want to point out that it's actually a lot easier to swap out the branches than you might think. They literally just detach with this little Technic axle there. And the same mechanism can be found on the green ones, and you just plug them right back in, and there you go. My first thought was, oh man, am I going to have to just manually clip every single one back in? But the fact that both of the variations of the tree have the same sort of mechanism to where it just plugs right in and the whole cluster stays together makes the transition a lot easier than I expected. Comparing the two clusters off of the tree, you can kind of see what I mean. There's just a little bit more going on with the cherry blossom cluster. It's just a little bit more thick. There's a little bit more to it, rather than this one just looks a little more flat. Not necessarily saying that the cherry blossoms are better, but I think I just like them because they look a little bit more fluffier, I guess. While these clusters are on there, you can also rotate them as much as you please. You can even rotate it upside down if you want, I guess. So there's a lot of posability you can do, especially with the cherry blossoms, since they have a lot more independent parts there. You can pose the cherry blossoms a little more than the regular ones. Alright guys, so let's move on to the final overall opinion of this thing. First we'll go ahead and talk about price. So for $50, are you getting your money's worth? You get 878 pieces. Mind you, a lot of those pieces are very small 1x1 parts. 200 of them being the small studs that fill in around the tree. But even still, there is a lot of good pieces in here. To be honest, I know a lot of people will probably just buy this set for the parts. I mean, if you need foliage and you need pink frogs, this is definitely the set to part out. But other than price per piece and all that nonsense, do I feel like this set is worth $50? I mean, yeah. I think especially since they do include two different styles to display the tree. You can display it with or without this stand. Oh yes, and this is another one of those 18 plus sets. However, like a lot of these 18 plus sets, you don't have to be 18 to have the skill to build this. There is some tedious building techniques that are going on here, but 13-year-old me would have been able to build this. The biggest reason why this is an 18 plus set is because I guarantee you 90% of the people that are going to own this set are going to be adults. This is 100% a display piece, and there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, Lego is looked at by the average person as a toy. And while Lego is a toy and they do make a lot of play sets, they're starting to make a lot more of these 18 plus style display sets. And to be honest, I love it. I mean, this bonsai tree, even the flowers, they're both going to display very well in any kind of a living room. And both of these pieces are not just flowers or a fake tree. They look amazing and they're made out of Lego, so they're awesome conversation pieces. Anyways, just to rehash the value on this thing, I think $50 is definitely a fair price. I think $40 would be an absolute steal for this. So I do think $50 for this set is about the perfect price. If it was any more, I would be like, oh, that's too expensive. And if it was any less, I'd be like, oh, that's a really good deal. So with all that being said, I give the bonsai tree a 10 out of 10. I'm really handing out these 10 out of 10s like cookies on this channel, man. I need to stop reviewing really good sets and get something in here to complain about. Lego City Skate Park. So that basically wraps it up for this review. The bonsai tree is a 10 out of 10. I think it's definitely worth the money. It looks awesome. It's got 2 ways you can display it, 3 ways if you count being able to display it without the stand. And overall, if you're more into displaying your Lego sets rather than actually using them or building mocks, I think this is an absolute wonderful set. And if you are building mocks and you need parts like this, I think it's a great parts pack. That is going to wrap it up for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. You all are amazing. Let me know down in the comments below, do you think this tree looks better with the cherry blossoms or better with the green leaves? Also, I am doing a current subscriber giveaway, so if you are not subscribed to the channel and you enjoy the content, down in the description below I will have a link to my current giveaway video. I am giving away 3 Lego sets, and one of those sets being the mystery set that Grogu is protecting back there. If you are interested in that giveaway, the link down in the description below will take you to the video where I describe the rules on that giveaway, how to enter, and everything that's going on with that. Again, thank you all so much for watching. As always, this has been Brent's Bricks, and remember, never stop building.